what I'm really doing this stream for, or really wanted to do on this stream, rather, was some of my redeem incentives specifically for Save&Raid. So for $50, I will take your um, Twitch profile picture and embed it onto my hat. Hold on. Brain. There we go. Yeah. Uh, a lot of, well, yeah, because a lot of applications and stuff are trying to keep up with it, so they would have set themselves to probably act as though they were using the new one. It is very complicated, yes. Um, so this, I'm going to add an embossed version of Dragon Gems logo to my hat. Well, some programs can if you just don't let them do anything else. For instance, animes, they actually let you. So I'm, for reasons I won't go into too much, I am paying for 2 yearly subscriptions for animes every year. I don't think I need to do that anymore, but I am. It's not too much. I think I'm paying $20 a year. That's, you know, not not oppressive to me. Let me put it that way. But you can buy like a yearly license, I believe, where you would just buy it and then you have, like, say, the 2024 version, and they do like fixes to it, but they don't keep updating it with new stuff, basically. So sometimes you can get that type of thing to happen, but not all the time. Right. So, how do I want to do this? Did I not? I don't know why, but I did not. Oh, right. I have to figure out, first of all, where exactly on this my Catatar's hat is. Because I updated it at some point, but I don't remember where or how. I might have to go down. You guys might get an even more inside baseball than you ever wanted. Do 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 do. Fur, nose, eyes, ears, facial hair, nose, black top hat. Okay, that is helpful. Yeah. Do I have a folder up here for prop black top hat? No, prop baseball hat, black top hat. Uh oh. All right. Which of those numbers was it? 463 6000. Okay. Custom textures, prop hat, 463,000. No. See? See how crazy I am? Hee hee. This was all. So I have figured out how to streamline a lot of this better, to make this easier. I have, however, not actually implemented all those changes everywhere. So, prop top hat, 654,000. Custom texture. Oh, good. It's the only prop black top hat. Okay. Going with the twos. So this must be the original. That's open that without me having already customized it for my own logo. And I believe that's why I mentioned that the redeem was for a. Yeah, see, so this is going to be my H, which. Let me set back to this so that I can see it. Is on the red leather band. You'll note that the coloration here isn't the color it's going to be in there. And I want to say this is the actual embossing part of it. Yeah. Okay. So Dragon Gem was kind enough to give me a high-res version of her logo. And I started doing work on this last night, but I did not save a bunch of that work. Basically, for the other portion, so I have two incentives. For $50, you could put an embossed version of your logo on my top hat, or you could also put an embroidered patch onto my fishing vest. I have to do some changes to the fishing vest in order to be able to put those patches on. So that's probably going to take a little bit more time. But I can do the top hat right now. I'm okay with doing it as a full picture. I just realized that I don't think I want to be doing this on this modern thing. Let me switch over to a different scene. We'll go over to Doc. Because then you're in the proper aspect ratio for what I'm seeing as well. So, what I think I want to do, let me see how the filters themselves look if I just run an emboss on this. So let me. This is GIMP, by the way, that I'm using. I don't know how to use Photoshop, and I didn't really want to pay for it to figure that out. So instead, I use GIMP, which is free open source software. The downside is that not all the time can you find what you're looking for. The upside is that you can almost always find somebody at some point who was like, hey, I've got the same idea and has made something for you. But a lot of these filters are built into it. All right. So I can play with the settings here. Actually, I mean, to be honest, I kind of like the Dragon. What do you think? And obviously, that's not going to look like this over on the other thing when I actually get it put onto there. I don't know if I kind of want the embossing more or less. Get a lot of different things we can do with this too. I want the more towards up and down. Well, you yell out if anything comes out looking horrible. All right. So we'll get that embossing. And then what I think I want to do, can't remember what it's called to try to set it into these colors, but I think what we're going to do here, actually, you know what? Before I even do that, here, since this is I would say a semi-live copy, I want to make sure I keep a copy of the stuff before I make any changes to it. I'm just horrible at coming up with a good naming convention that actually makes sense to anybody other than me. So I think I want to kind of put it to the left. We can also do some real fun things with this. Get some real fancy free running wild views of things. Doo-doo-doo. I guess first put you in here. Unified transform this baby. Eight. Potato. Give me a better handle, please. You. Whoa, what are you? The only downside is I'm going to have to, you know what, before I even do any of this, yeah, I think I might be able to make this easier on myself here. Nope, wrong one. Layer, no, edit. Paste as new layer. Paste as new layer. Now let's try this. Hopefully this is going to work the way that I think it's going to work. Rotate up, go and scale this puppy. I'll tell y'all a little story while I'm doing this. There is a role-playing game, pen and paper role-playing game, that one of my Mine and Dragon Gems good friends developed and ran for years and years and years. Called, oh, actually, so the name of the role-playing system used to be called Dark World. I think they've updated the name. Is it now Powers That Be? Yeah, Powers That Be. Um, so basically it was a superhero world, and for the most part, it the system can be other stuff, but it is at its base basically a superpowered um, copy of our world. And I had a character that could interact directly with computers, like remotely from a distance. Um, I guess he would basically have been like an edge runner from Cyberpunk. Uh, but that system didn't really have that concept per se. Anyways, um, he he spent most of his time playing Diablo 2 on their base's supercomputers in the background. So they'd be in meetings or whatever doing something, and you would just suddenly hear the secret cow level, and the cow is mooing in the background. I think that'll look okay. All right, now to find out. Okay, thankfully, it did what I thought it was going to do. All right, so layers to image size to make this easier. Size. that way. I don't know if I can just directly copy a layer group. I don't think I can. That's fine. Um, you then is this layer. Paste this new layer. Overwrite that. You guys are going to get to see a little bit of inside baseball again. So this is all stuff that I'm doing on my uh, gaming PC. Double check here. So the reason I have two copies, basically, aside from the fact that at the time I couldn't figure out how to, I didn't understand the, well, I think at the time there was no live service. Not that's not the right word. Phrasing. Um, Animes was not set in Steam to be able to be run in offline mode. So in order for me to also be playing another Steam game, which occasionally that's what I'm doing, uh, at the same time I had animes running, I had to pay for two animes. So that's why it is that way. All right. But that does give me the opportunity to be running animes twice here. So that's why this is on that machine to get that set up. No. All right. So let us switch this to the hat. And let's see if that looks too ugly for me or not. So what do you think, Dragon Gem? Oop, we're not really going to be able to get the coloration in, which is why I had the wording set the way I did, but with it being an embossed version, just because of the way this particular model, this particular prop functions. With the fishing vest, I should be able to get it actually have coloration to match. All right. So I'm going to check that off as that one having been done. Let's see, what time is it? 7:15. All right. So I'm going to call that a success on that one. I think I want to also, aside from just having these as exported, I want to save this as anyways. Yeah, I don't really have that folder created yet, so let me create it. Have a good one, Amy Cat. Thank you very much for jumping in, and you have yourself a good night. Have a restful rest. Bless you, Dragon Jim. Bless you again. Everybody on stream's like, the heck? I could hear her sneezing in the other room. All right. So the issue that I have to surmount, which isn't too much of an issue to surmount, it's just going to take me some time, is that whereas that I have a good. Actually, let me get back to this other thing here. All right. For the top hat, there's already a good in place textures for me to edit that are semi-real and understandable for me to actually be able to edit. The fishing vest, on the other hand, um, believe actually, you know what? I think I probably need to have animes to double check this. Basically, I'm not 100% sure what animes is actually set up for. Might need to get this going to give me some idea of whether or not it is or not. So, also some inside baseball in case you did catch my stream with on Save and Raid. For $5 or more, it would put I would put a sticker onto my T-shirt. Change to shirted here. It should work live. I might have to restart that. And if you're ever wondering, hey Hairball, why do you do things this weird way? It's because I'm a weird person, and that's just the way I could figure out to do it easily, or just the way I did it. Right. So here's my shirt. Right. This is live. The texture is being grabbed live from OBS. Specifically, it's actually getting this. So let me demonstrate that. So if I was adding a sticker on, I just added a new image, and then I would drag it around in here. So you can see I can move this logo around, which is going to work great for me for in the future. I can put other, um, other stuff onto a shirt and go with it. I think what this is also going to sort of do for me or allow me to do here while editing is to figure out how a particular mesh is set up and help me determine whether or not I need to go ahead and turn the mesh into a real mesh for me, or a texture, I should say, not a mesh. This was the mesh map for the T-shirt model that I had, which I was able to figure out okay, and then use nicely. I don't think this fishing vest I have something like that. One quirk of the way this is functioning. So in order to have animes do something, so these are the different prop categories in animes. You got hats, headphones, glasses, mustaches, holdables, and carryables. So holdables, I don't know if it's still the case, but it used to be that it was basically only the right hand that things could be held on with. You can go and set it to the other hand, but you have to go and specifically set it. So you'll notice I'm in the holdable category here, and I've got my Space Engineer mech suit. So if you saw me doing mech timber, I can't remember if this was 2024 or 2023. I streamed as in a mech suit while I was playing Armored Core. I had to think there for a second. Um, at the time, they didn't have this carryables category. So in order to get something on my that looked like clothing, because you'll notice that there's clothing category. In order to get something that was like clothing, like a shirt, I would have to put it as a holdable in my offhand. And again, this was also before they added hand tracking. Oh, right, yeah, hand tracking. You can see it up here on my actual avatar, not on this one because I have the camera turned off. Um, actually, I might still have the mech in here somewhere. Hold on. I don't see it, so I don't think I ever put it into the lineup. Um, anyways, so basically what ended up happening was animes added this carryables, which basically means kind of sort of on the back. So the first things they came out with were wings, which is all well and good, except I don't really want wings. So I co-opted it, and that's where I put any shirts or like a backpack or the fishing vest. So this is the fishing vest. I'm going to click on this here, and you're going to notice that it's going to like explode over here. Oh, and turn sideways. So I don't remember. I'm not sure which exact of these textures is this stuff, but um, I suspect that it's one of these textures. Yeah, I can't tell if that's if that's supposed to be. Let me zoom out a little bit more here. Can't. All right, let me shrink the size down. This is all stuff, by the way, that you normally never see. Get all this stuff set up beforehand, get them set the way I want, and be easily replicatable over to my other machine so that I don't have to worry about it. All right. So, I mean, obviously, this is that. Not sure exactly. I need to be part of these belts here. That's definitely the belt itself. This is down here, which you don't normally see, so I don't think I did anything with it. That's the zipper. Don't ask me why it's red. I think that's the possibly one of these buckles. Oh, also, just in case you're curious, I'm mildly colorblind, so sometimes being able to tell what's what is not as easy. So this kind of looks like this color. So best translucent milk front. Right. How do I want to do this? Let's make a new scene in here. I'll let fish vest. I'm going to add a filter to it for spout. We're going to call this filter name. Um, so then the question becomes which of these filters or which of these textures was that? Because you'll notice I don't see a, what did that call it? I don't see a vest tensile milk front listed. So it's going to be one of these image something or others. Make sure that- yep, okay. This- So how did it save it in OBS? In the OBS folder, I should say. Image 8. All right. Wonderful. Wonderfully named. Thank you. That's great. All right. So if I'm lucky, 2048 by 2048. Okay. So this is looking helpful. This might be possible. Mm, So, and again, this is just for testing because I don't think I'm going to need to, like the top hat, I don't need to edit on the fly, or I don't feel like I need to edit on the fly. This is, um, oddity. Nope, not a new scene. Uh, do, how do I have the Right. Well, we're just testing, so this isn't going to be a long-term thing anyways. So, give it. All right. That's not actually what I wanted. Transform. They're not a fit to canvas. Okay. So, to recap, and again, this is for testing. It probably won't end up sticking this way, but I have a scene with a spout out filter or spout output filter to output this to fish vest spout. Again, for testing. So what I'm going to do in here in animes is set this part that I'm interested in, hopefully, to that spout source. Why did that change? I didn't change that setting. Or did I? All right. Well, I mean, that's going to answer a question probably. Let's see. Are we. Yeah, okay. So that milk tercel thing front was just the pocket. Right. That is not what we're looking for. Let me just revert it. Why did that not seem like it reverted it? Save. All right. This. Hey, and it even remembered the sizing on it. That's nice. That's helpful. It's prone to do that, by the way. Working with animes is interesting. I think I just changed where the light was. Hold on. Reload my whole scene. Thank you. So if it's not that texture, is it this cookie? I guess that would make sense. Does this look more cookie colored? Brown cookie colored than milk? Yeah, cookie brown. I think so. All right. So if we set that to the fish vest output, nope, let's takey looky here. Yep. Okay. So now I know specifically which of these it is. We're out of that. Okay. So good. Now to find out if I can convert it into being a sensible asset for me. That's how I'm going to word that. I'm going to make a second fish fist. Wait, wait. Well, good news is that that's all fine because I do have all of this backed up on my live Catatar machine over there. Uh, let's see. Let me do just a real quick fancy man kajiguri. Okay, answers that. I did. I just don't have it set. Hello? Can I type? Thank you. Hello? Oh, well, it'd help if I could spell. Do it this way. Closed enemies. Okay. I think I'm gonna need. That. I think that could be it. We'll just to make sure we'll do. Paste. And then bring back up the animals. I was gonna take my holiday in Scandinavia, but then I thought, Norway. A sleepy dog over here. Luckily, he's sleepy and not farty. Oh, but I do have the Mac here. All right. Do I think so? Why don't I have it over there? That's interesting. Very interesting. Let's see if I can demonstrate what I was talking about. I don't know that I have hand tracking turned on at all here. Media pipe hand tracker disabled. Well, they could have just okay. Just to give you somewhat of an example of what I was talking about, because this is tied into one of my hands. Yeah. What's up, guys? Ever been punched with a mech? Not punched by a mech, punched with a mech? Yeah. Let me turn that back off. Okay. Back to what I was doing. Get the Fisher Cat. Okay. So we figured out it was cookie brown cookie. Let's see what image they called that. I'm going to assume that it was give me thumbnails. Content. Views. Sure, that'll work. I'm going to assume it's going to be this image 6. That seems like that same color. So the good news is that that is also a 2048 by 2048. So hopefully it gets mapped onto it well, and then I can just plonk something onto it like I did with the hat. Well, let's find out. This should change the color of it completely. All right, but I haven't done the other portion that would be required for that. Okay, hold on. Let me do my other kajiggering and see if it just resets it back. It did not. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. Yeah. Right, it's because I'm not saving it. Okay, that's fine. It's okay. Just need this to be down reasonably enough to understand what's happening. Let's set this cookie brown to this. No, thank you. And now it's all, I don't know, milky white. Let's see. I guess a good way to test this would be to add another image onto here. You know what? I'll just add the Diablo logo, the Save&Raid Diablo logo on. Okay, so it's tiled. That's, I mean, hmm. So, do I want to make them individual badges, or in just making them? No, I think I'm going to want to make them individual badges. So what I'll probably have to do then is dig into another bit of arcane sorcery that I try to do, which is playing with Blender to figure meshes and textures out. Which a good portion of this will probably end up happening off stream, because I'm getting pretty close to the end of the time I like to go for. But I can at least get in here and take a look at it and see if it's feasible. That. I mean, this also would have been an easier way for me to have figured out um, which texture this was, except it still doesn't really call it. But I would have at least been able to come in here and go, oh, do I think it's this one? Oh, I guess not. We know it's this cookie brown. Right. Do I remember UV editing, I believe? Right. Well, so this is how the UV editing on it thinks it is, which isn't quite right. This makes me wonder if I came in here and did something else to it at some point. The texture paint. What am I looking for? Shading? No? Did I kill it? Not responding now. All right. So it's thinking. I have my arms crossed, all grumpy like. Okay. All right. Um, I have an imperfect understanding of all this stuff, by the way. Just FYI. So I don't know if I even. I don't. This may have been stuff that I started mucking about with beforehand. Color, normal map. Yep, image 6. Okay. Image 7 for the normal map. So it's getting the bumping from the, or the texture, I should say. That's not the right word. It is the texture, but not the texture from a technical standpoint. From image 7, which was what? Line? Image 7. Green. Thank you. So it's getting the texture of the model of the vest. You can kind of see here that it looks like it's weave. It's getting that from here. And then it gets the coloration from the other image. But it is not UV mapped very well. I don't think this is the actual UV mapping of it. That doesn't seem to correspond with what we were actually seeing, because otherwise I'd have just been able to do stuff nice and easy. So what I'll probably end up doing is exporting this UV map and using it as a basis, which is actually how I got for my t-shirt. T-shirt. This in the process of updated base texture for it, which started out with me messing around with this. So that's something I'll have to play around with myself and see if I can figure out. But I've gotten the hat done, so that's quite a bit of progress. Let's get out of here, go Dave. Go back and show it off again. So for the rest of the year, this will be the way the top hat is going to look. It's going to have Dragon Gems, cool pick, and apparently my eyebrow whiskers poking through. And again, that was a $50 redeem because I don't know. I wasn't sure how much to make it, so I just made it 50 on the Save&Raid, which I believe you can still donate for Save&Raid out through the end of April. So if you feel like it, you could go ahead and go out there and do those redeems. You'll see them as incentives when you go to do the donation. But this is the one. So Dragon Gem had donated during my stream with those incentives for both her fishing for an embroidered patch on fishing vest, which as you can see I'm still working on, and embossed onto my top hat, which we've got right here. So I'm going to go ahead and get over to my I have to get over to my just caddying screen. So for the rest of the year, the rest of 2025, that will be on my top hat. Um, there's a possibility I might keep it there after 2025. Dragon Gems, at least, because again, she is my wife, and I do love her and want to support her, but maybe not. We'll see. And then if other people redeem them, that's what will basically happen is I will take their logo, their Twitch profile pic, and I will emboss it and put it onto the top hat for the rest of the year. And then the other one was if you wanted to have it emboss. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Before we go, I will kind of show you what it's going to kind of sort of look like for if my brain functions. Kind of sort of vaguely what it's going to look like if when I get the embroidered patch done. Excuse me, go away. No, thank you. It, yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, this logo is Dragon Gem's current um, Twitch profile pic. I believe this was done by Darkness Forever. So yeah, filters, artistic. So this is again, as I mentioned, GIMP is FOSS, free open source software. Somebody made this embroidery stitcher effect. So I'm going to apply it. So this is actually what that's made that look like. But what you do then is you take the original image to get the colors and stuff to come through. And we go like this. And so I'm basically going to take that and also make it have a kind of like a merit badge from Boy Scouts. So a circular, like highly embroidered border around it. And then that will be somewhere on the front of my fishing vest. But again, I have some work to do to get the fishing vest capable of me being able to put that on there, which is fine. It's work I would not have offered that as a possible incentive if I did not think I could accomplish it before the end of 2025. I will try to get it accomplished, as early as possible because I'd like to, have as much of it have the redeem be out there or be having that useful for as much of 2025 as possible. But it is what it is. So this again will be what Dragon Gems is going to look like once I get that portion of the fishing vest taken care of so that I can add it on there.